Hey now, think positively, all right? We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else.
Resident Evil Village takes place 3 years after the incident involving the Baker family. Ethan is living with his wife, Mia, and his daughter, Rosemary, until Chris decides to kill a bitch and take Rose with him, leaving Ethan alone in a strange and mysterious village in search for his daughter while going against a newfound evil. Right off the bat, hats off to Capcom to literally not showing much of this game at all in their trailers, and really just focus on Lady D and her daughters. Besides that, this game was a thrill ride with a lot of good sections throughout, with 1 or 2 sections that could have been done better, which were mostly in the final segments of the game. The village itself, however, the main quote-unquote hub area, if you will, could have had more going on within it in terms of story, but it really was just there to get from point A to point B, which personally, I don't really mind it because it feels more open world because of it. While I did play on standard, because normal mode is usually the first difficulty I play on to get a feel for the game and to really understand what kind of enemies I'm dealing with, I did find the game to be on the easy side. So if you want some more difficulty, I do recommend the harder difficulties to get that challenge in there. Also, Ethan is surprisingly a better character in this game. His dialogue was better, and his overall personality really shined in his entry whenever he was interacting with some of the enemies, especially the bosses. But if there is one thing that shines above all else in this game, is that Capcom showed they can go beyond the limits of horror in one section on its own. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. Overall, I had an absolute blast with Resident Evil Village. I played it on the PS4, it still looked amazing, and I didn't really have any graphical issues while playing. I don't know if I would say it's better than Resident Evil 7, as it has been a while for me since I played that game. But I will say, at the very least, this game has a lot to love. It's definitely not in my top 3, but I would say it's definitely in my top 10 Resident Evil games of all time. I just gotta figure out where.
Warte
I mean, if you're gonna put me up, I have these kinks. Not like that. Those are not my kinks. This is not what I thought of by... Damn.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
Well, yeah, she definitely put me up in more than 2 ways. I ain't...
Wait, what are you doing?
At least they didn't take my pants off. You're gonna be my favorite.